Hello everyone, I am Chessrook44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Geneforge 5. Well, we finally made it through all the wastes, and all that's left to do now is head into Gazaki-Uss and speak with the Drakons there about, well, what they wanted us to come see them and speak with them about. So, yeah, let's go do just that. Time to get diplomatic up in this shit. At last you enter the Gazaki-Uss, the subterranean city of the Drakons. It is a massive place, almost overpowering. Only frequent exposure to the mighty cities of the Shapers keeps you from being filled with awe. The first thing you notice is how hot it is. The Drakons must like heat. They are doing something to keep this place a humid inferno. It immediately makes you feel a little faint. The Drakons like it. The humans and serviles you see on guard, on the other hand, look miserable. You also see that this place was recently constructed. The huge stone blocks lack the moss, wear, and stains that come from centuries of occupation. The Drakons made this place recently and quickly to provide a command center. This is currently the heart of the rebellion, the center of rebel power and leadership. You can feel the might of the Drakons weighing down upon you. And I see all these serviles. There is a young servile here. He has sharp eyes, an easy smile, and an aura of self-confidence. It's always very easy to tell the serviles who were born and raised completely out of Shaper control.
Hello, visitor. I am Learned Plow. I have been told to greet you when you enter. I will take you to see Ghaldring. Please follow me.
Why are you called Learned?
I am a sage. I study the history of our people. It is important to understand the mysteries of the past, mistakes of humans and serviles alike, if we are to avoid repeating them.
He sees that you are about to speak and stops you.
But we are both busy, and I do not have time to discuss other things.
Ghaldring is expecting me?
Yes. As I understand it, your progress across the wastes was tracked, and of course you were seen as you approached the city gate.
Lead on.
Yes, our leader awaits.
Learned Plow points to the east. The Drakons keeping guard here are, unsurprisingly, far too arrogant to spend time talking to the likes of you. They simply wave you by. Alright. Oh, there's others here. You meet someone unusual pacing around the entry hall. A human rebel. A mage from the look of her. Most of the human rebels operate in the east and north. They generally aren't welcomed in the Drakon fortresses. This woman is furious. She stomps back and forth, muttering to herself. When you get close, she turns and says,
"Look, I'm Felida. I'm a commander. Have you heard—"
"Oh, I thought you lived here."
"Never mind."
"Can I talk to you?" She looks you over.
"You're the Shaper envoy? I have heard you sympathize with the rebels."
"All right, I'll talk to you. For a bit. Nobody else here is helping me. There's something I need, and they won't let me have it." "Where are you from?"
"From the east, Ilya province. Rebel territory now. I'm a skilled scout, but there's nothing there to scout. Just human rebels now, guarding and rebuilding. And I needed action, so I came here."
"East of here is controlled by human rebels."
"Beyond Gazaki-Uss, yes. There aren't many Drakons. They leave us to hold the territory while they advance. But that isn't for me. I want to act. I insisted on coming here. My commander let me go, and the Drakons and serviles just ignore me."
Felida is still pacing around angrily. The bottom hem of her robe is stained green from the moss and mold of the cave floor. "Why are you so angry?"
"Because I'm not being used. I'm a skilled scout. I should be watching the fort, but they won't give me what I need to travel safely in the wastes. So I'm stuck here, and they are probably laughing at me behind my back."
"You said that there is something you need."
"That's right. Those mad serviles, the ones who hate everyone. Some of them caught a Shaper scout. She has an amulet, one of the amulets the Loyalists use to tell the Shaper's creations not to attack. Those serviles have the scout, but they aren't doing anything with the amulet. I asked for it, and they sent me away. And then one of them shot a thorn at me."
"What would it take to get the amulet?"
"Probably fighting them. It's going to happen soon, anyway. I overheard some Drakons. Their serviles have gone too wild, turned into brigands, and they think one of them might even be controlled by a Shaper. They don't have long before the Drakons remove them, but that doesn't do me any good. I need that amulet."
"I could get the amulet for you."
"Well, that would be a pleasant surprise. I would greatly appreciate it. Their camp is to the southwest, in the ruins of Bone Peak, and if you can get the amulet for me, I'll make sure the other rebels hear how you helped me."
Unfortunately, the amulet was gone."
"Curse it! Now how will I be able to scout the wastes?" Well, I will find a way. I always have before. I will show those arrogant lizards that I can aid in the fight." Okay, that was a quest. But unfortunately, we had already completed it for the Shapers. Although thinking about it, we probably would have brought the amulet to the Shapers anyway, despite it, because it did properly belong to them. This servile has set up a small trading post in this corner of the entry cave. He is unwashed and smelly, and his robes are torn. He must be a smuggler, entirely unsuited to a glorious fortress like this. Still, some of his goods look very useful. He gives you a smile, revealing gray and rotting teeth. I, Alec. I, trader. Bring goods from west. Good things. How did you get these things here? I, smuggler. Good smuggler. Know all the secrets, all the back ways. The Shapers never catch Alec. What sort of things do you smuggle? Shaper things. Tools, books, secrets. They kill Alec if they catch with their things. They never catch Alec. Where are you from originally? Alec born in servitude. Born to carry, to go with merchants. Back and forth through Meritev. Back and forth. How did you get away? Servile comes in dead of night to caravan. Free Servile. Takes Alec to Shadow Road. Alec free, but Alec born to travel. Made that way. So Alec smuggles. I still here, still trader. Many good goods from west. What do you think of Gazaki-Uss? He's big, lots of space. But inside, Alec no like inside. Alec likes to look up and always see sky. It's good to be near mighty Ghaldring, though. Makes Alec feel safe. I'd like to trade with you. Yes, Alec buys, Alec sells. But only some things for sale. Good things only for those who swear loyalty to mighty Ghaldring. Nothing we need. We've got a lot of coin, though. I think we'll go in there in a minute. Let's just finish taking a look over here. Ah, an agent. Greta. These quarters are provided for non-Drakon soldiers of the rebellion. Although they are humble, there is a full general here, eating a bowl of stew. She is young, but her rank is marked by the insignia on her leather armor. She looks up at you. She looks very familiar. You can't place her face, though you're sure you have seen it before. Do I know you, General? She looks at you for a moment and searches her memories. Then she nods. We have met, though in much humbler surroundings. I spoke with you in Penta. I am General Greta of the Rebellion. Have a seat. I could use some company before I return to the battle. Where do you serve? In the north. I command on the front with the Meritev, holding the line for now while the events develop. From time to time I come south to synchronize our movements with those of the Drakons, and to look for new recruits. Holding the line? Why aren't you advancing into the Meritev? That is a secret matter, not one I will discuss. Some things are not safe to speak of in Gazaki-Uss. So you are meeting with Ghaldring now? That is why I am here. I have been here days waiting to speak with his arrogance. He knows I am here, he just keeps me waiting. I will have to leave soon. I have important things to do. We would just argue anyway. What do you do when you find a potential recruit? I tell them where to go, and if I think it is warranted, I put in a good word for them so that they might be trusted. I'd like to discuss something else. All right. Tell me about Gazaki-Uss. The spectacular fortress of the Drakons. It is truly imposing, is it not? Almost, I dare say, Shaper-like. I have fought alongside the Drakons for a long time. They are not getting easier to deal with. You do not seem fond of the Drakons? Fond? Have you found these creatures to create warm feelings? They are cold-blooded in all senses of the term. But they are mighty and fearless, and their hatred of the Shapers is absolute. They are arrogant, but when the war is won, I do not think they will share power with the rest of the rebellion. And if they do not? Then they will find themselves at the wrong end of a second rebellion. The Drakons do not realize it, but the power of the free serviles and the human rebels is more than a match for theirs. That is why I work so hard to aid them. Once the rebellion is won, we will all be free, whatever the Drakons say about it. And this is no secret. I have said the same thing to Ghaldring Space. How long have you fought alongside them? I was trained as an agent in the Ashen Isles far to the north, birthplace of the rebellion, you know. In fact, I knew Alwyn then. General Alwyn now. He was a humorless and unpleasant creature even then. We went in different directions. I met the rebellion on those isles and I joined them. And then? And then came many dark years, and several unexpected victories. I don't like to think about it. All the injuries, the terror, the friends lost. I prefer to think on today where there is actual hope. I am here to see Ghaldring.
So I have heard. Go find Learned Plow. She should be outside Ghaldring's gate to the east. That hateful creature controls access to the big lizard. Always be on your guard, though. Ghaldring is a dangerous and unpredictable creature. I do not fully understand why he has brought you here. He might not mean you well.
Alright then. Thank you for the warning, Greta. We'll keep it in mind.
Still, it's nice to see Greta again, even if she is, well, kind of pushed to the side in this one, while Alwyn has taken the front and leads his own side. I'm not going in there. There is a servile sitting at this table, writing out some sort of report. When you approach, she stands and turns. You recognize her instantly. It is Meccan, the servile who guided and protected you months ago in Rawl's lands. She looks very pleased to see you.
You arrived! You live! She clasps your hand. After all the time in a barracks with you, I came to like you. I hoped you would like me. I am glad you did. It is good you caught me. I am only writing a quick report, then back to the field.
You are going back to the field?
That is what I do. I am a spy for the rebellion. I move among the Shapers. I pretend to be a common, uneducated servile, sometimes as you saw, for years at a time. And soon I go out again, and again, until the rebellion wins.
You are surprised to hear her talk like this. Now that she has spent some time back among the rebels, she is talking like an educated servile. Where are you going next?
I can't say, not even to you.
And it is very dangerous?
If the Shapers catch me, they will make an example of me. The things they do to disloyal serviles. In front of the other serviles. It is very ugly.
In your travels, have you learned anything about who I might be?
No, I am sorry. But I have learned of someone who might help.
Yes?
There is a sage in the Dara Reaches, out in the desert south of the Zephyr Oasis. She is said to be able to... how is it described? See things that have been lost. Some who I trust have said that she has genuine power. I doubt it, and yet if your travels take you to the Dara Reaches, you might try to find her.
A sage in the Dara Reaches, south of the Zephyr Oasis. We are definitely going to have to go there. You sit and sip tea with Meccan. She is eager to speak with you about your travels and adventures, and she talks about hers. Both of you are careful to avoid the more sensitive and secret aspects of your journeys. It is oddly pleasing to sit and speak with this person that has known you longer than anyone you remember. So in the White Spires, you were a spy all along? She looks down at the floor.
I don't know. We serviles, our duty, our job, it is part of our being. After the first year, I was more a worker than a spy. When you woke up, in a sense, I woke up too. I had learned all I could about Raoul and his work. I had to return.
And what had you learned? Was it useful?
I learned much about Shaper research, about the sorts of things they are creating and studying. Some very useful things. And I saw that Raoul cares only for his own power and wealth. He is not a serious threat to us. We do not need to spend many resources to counter him. It was very useful. Those years of my life were not wasted.
Right, so Raoul is only a threat if you bug him. Gotcha. I'd like to discuss the rebellion.
I would be glad to. I thought that the risks I took to save you in the White Spires might result in your aiding our cause. I am very glad that it has. You seem to have promise. I wonder if Ghaldring would recruit you.
Have you found anything in your travels I could use?
I found a lost rebel cache on my last trip back. All of the supplies had rotted away, but a canister remained. I do not use such things, so I brought it back here. It is in my quarters. I'll unlock the door. Use it if you are willing to take the risk.
We'll look in there, but we're not using a dang canister. Do you take orders from the Drakons?
For now. I fear if they grow too much more arrogant, I might slip away and find a new general to serve.
She sees that you are about to ask another question and cuts you off.
That is all I am willing to say about that in this place.
Is there any way I can help you?
Actually, there is. There is some information you could provide that would be of great use to me. If, that is, you ever find yourself in the Dara Reaches. I may need to go down to that bleak desert soon, and beyond. At the west end of the desert is the Lethia Pass, which leads to Lethia Province beyond. I need to know what defenses the gate has. That means I need to speak with someone who has been close enough to see it. Or I have to go myself. If you ever see the gate in the Lethia Pass, describe it to me. I will return the favor in whatever humble way I can.
Are you going to Lethia Province?
I can't say.
Well, I am here to see Ghaldring.
I do not envy you. The Dracon's chamber is to the east. Be wary in all your dealings with him. His loyalty to the rebellion is absolute, but his means can be Heartless. Message received. Here's the canister. We're not going to look in the canister, though. We're going to look in here. Let's see. That's useful, that's useful, that's useful, that's useful, that's not. I don't smoke. Smoking is the action of the devil. Let's see. There are two Drakons muttering silently to each other in this alcove, well away from the rest of the fortress. When they see you, one of them steps forward. He looks annoyed.
I am Cressia of the Conclave. I have no patience with spies and eavesdroppers. Leave us.
The Conclave?
I am one of the leaders of Gazaki-Uss. Ghaldring is not the only one who rules here, whatever he pretends.
I am trying to see Ghaldring.
Of course, the envoy bypasses us, because Ghaldring is the only Drakon who matters to the rest of the world. That will not continue forever.
There is something I need to know.
Go elsewhere, now! I am done with you. Provoke me further and you will pay.
The Drakons seem not very happy about Ghaldring. Curious. Very curious. Yeah, that leads to their power core, most likely. This probably does as well. Yep. So now all that leaves is seeing Ghaldring himself. Alright. There he is. You step into Ghaldring's hall. In the center, Ghaldring is waiting for you. He is one of the oldest Drakons. He is almost definitely the most powerful. He is taller than most of his kind, and he has been augmented many times. His scales are smooth and flawless. They almost seem to gleam. His cold eyes betray no emotion you recognize. He stands here in his home, surrounded by a ring of defensive pylons. If this is a trap and he means you ill, you have little chance of surviving a confrontation with him. When he sees you, he smiles, showing 2 rows of razor-sharp white teeth. His voice is so deep and loud you can feel it in your chest.
You made it! At last. I have been curious. Step forward. Let me evaluate you.
As you approach Ghaldring, you start to feel faint. He is so huge, so charged with power, that the urge to cower and snivel is almost overpowering. But this is a trick you are familiar with. Shapers long ago learned that projecting a little bit of power does wonders for intimidating the outsiders. You stand up straight and ignore it as best you can. Ghaldring inspects you closely. There is a long pause while he examines you, your equipment, the way you carry yourself. He nods.
So, this is the toy the Shapers are squabbling over. But not a toy, a tool, and a useful one. I am Ghaldring, mightiest of the Drakons, master of the rebellion, lord of Gazaki-Uss, and I have summoned you here.
Why have you called me here?
I wanted to send a message. It is to be taken to General Alwyn, and since I had heard about you, I requested for you to come fetch the message, to see what the fuss was about. 2 purposes in 1 act.
You watch Ghaldring closely, trying to determine what he really wants from you. Or, for that matter, if he knows who you are. The Dracon's eyes betray nothing. How did you hear about me?
A powerful unidentified Shaper coming from out of nowhere and acting as an unallied agent. This attracts gossip. We have learned, time and time again, that even a single Shaper can have a great effect on the world.
And what is the message? Ghaldring ignores the question. He looks at one of the defensive pylons and asks, absent-mindedly,
There has been a lot of gossip. Rumor. I am curious. You have had time to wander to Restia, to rebuild some of your psyche.
How did he know about your memory?
To judge what you have seen. Where do your sympathies fall? With the Shapers, or with the rebels?
I still have not decided.
Not decided? Or have you just managed to keep from seeing the truth until now? The Shaper way is not just, and it is not sustainable. Put this rebellion down, and you merely plant the seeds for another. But then a closer look at us might show you the power of our army, and the justice of our cause.
His voice trails off. He is considering something. What is it?
I have come to a decision. Alas, you must stay with us for a time longer.
You notice how crisp Ghaldring's speech is. There is no trace of a lisp. He also seems far less arrogant and bloodthirsty than many describe him. And yet...
I apologize, but my message for Alwyn is not yet complete. It will be soon. We have guest quarters. It will be more comfortable to one of your kind.
He waves to the northwest.
Go there. Return tomorrow. I will be ready to speak with you then.
There's something else I'd need to know.
And there is plenty of time to talk tomorrow. Go now. I must consider the words of my message carefully.
He waves you away. You decide that it would be unwise to irritate him. Okay, quarters to the northwest. That way will not open, and this way is... You approach the entrance to the Gazaki-Uss laboratories. If the nearby obelisk is to be believed, the Drakons do not welcome any outsiders exploring them. Proceeding in this direction without permission could be very dangerous. Laboratory. Only Drakons and servants of Ghaldring. Any others will be assumed to spy. Door does not open anyway. I imagine this door would not open either. Does not appear to. You tinker with the pylon, it doesn't... Can't do anything about that. Okay, so we are to go northwest to the quarters we have. Where do I go now? Learned Plow points to the north. The quarters for visitors are that way. Your room is in the far corner. Thank you. Simple enough. Okay, we are going to head up here. There we go. Okay, this section of the Gazaki-Uss is slightly cooler than the other areas. It seems to have been provided for the rest and recuperation of non-Drakon visitors. Truly a rare concession for the Drakons to make. There has been a crude effort to make a garden, and there are smooth, dark pools for peaceful meditation and reflection. As you enter, you find that it is very quiet. You must be the only visitor staying here now. That will probably make your wait more peaceful. One can hope. I imagine none of these doors are going to open. Nothing in there. Oh, they even have a little garden. That's nice. That door does not open. There's a drake in here? Huh. This is a small smithy. It's odd that it is back here in the guest quarters. There must be no room for it anywhere else yet. The smith is a large drake. You watch the creature work. It is quite remarkable. She isn't using any of the tools. She picks up a damaged sword, heats it with a spell, and molds the glowing metal with her bare hands. When the work is done, she cools the blade in a bucket of water and turns to you. Greetings. I am Smith Drosh. This is my smithy for the service of all who aid the rebellion. There are not many Drake's blacksmiths. You say that because you have not been to rebel lands, I think. To the east, Drakes have found that one of their natural places is in the forge. Working shaped blades and armor is easy for us. Only pure steel is beyond our skill. It will not be that way for long. Shaped blades and armor. Quality steelwork infused with essence. Few drakes have been modified and given the ability to shape, but we can all handle essence and work it slowly into metal. Who can make pure steel? The smiths of the Dara Reaches, and only a few of them. Soon we will find a way to buy their secrets, or take them. Smith Drosh continues to work on her blades and armor. You note that she does use the tools and forge occasionally. For most jobs, she resorts to spell and claw. Can I buy your wares? You are not sworn to aid the rebellion. My work is special, and I will not share it with outsiders. I'm trying to meet with Ghaldring. I do not meddle in the affairs of the Drakons. They look at us drakes as children. If you would speak with Ghaldring, I sympathize, but I cannot help. I'm going now. Good day, envoy. Those are probably my quarters up there. You have found your quarters. It is a small stone quarter dome that sticks out of the northwest corner of this cavern. Looking inside, it seems comfortable enough. And yet who knows what might happen in this treacherous place while you sleep. Are you prepared enough for your meeting with Ghaldring? Not yet. I'm going to explore a bit more. There's still time. Another garden there. What's in here, I wonder? Sure, we can use a living tool for this. Looks like it's a, holding place for creations. The discipline wand and submission thorns. Oh, submission thorns are handy. This door most likely does not open. Nope. Okay. That said, we need to go and rest. Rest for the night. You enter your quarters. After your exhausting journey through the wasteland, you eagerly await a restful sleep. And I have no control over anything now. Zzz.